Dear students and my viewers, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to deal with an essay written by Moti Nissani. The essay is entitled Too Long-Term Problems, Too Many People, Too Few Trees. The very title itself says too many people. Too many people means overpopulation. Too few trees, it means deforestation. Overpopulation and deforestation, these are the two long-term problems. Long-term problems means these problems do not have immediate solution. These problems cannot be solved within a short time. And these problems, once these problems occur in a nation, in a country, in the world, let's say, these problems continue creating a number of other problems related with environment, related with our biosphere, our ecosystem, food chain, ecology, and the nature at large. That means long-term problems means the problems that take a long time to come into a balance. The problems cannot be solved immediately, instantly, within a short period of time. That's why we call these problems too many people means overpopulation, too few trees means deforestation. Here, the essay begins with the reference to a document. In 1992, the world scientists, the scientists of the world, over 1500 scientists of the world, they signed a document. The document was entitled The World Scientists Warning to Humanity. Yes, the scientists of the world, they were worried about the future of our planet Earth. They realized that the degradation in the environment, the overpopulation, the deforestation, and a number of related problems, a number of related obstacles, that can be the overconsumption of the resources, that can be the growing pollution, air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, and there can be the rise and growth of the factories and industries, the use of chemicals, very poisonous chemicals. All these things, they have created problems on the earth. And the earth, that is the only planet which has life possible. Life is possible on the only planet Earth, and the future of our planet Earth is in danger if we don't control our irrational activities, if we don't control our direct involvement, the interference, and you can say the overconsumption of the resources, then the future of our earth is in danger. That is what the essay focuses. You can see the world scientists, 1500 world scientists, over 1500 world scientists, and half of them were Nobel Prize winners. These scientists, they signed a document to warn people, to aware people about the problems of the environment, problems of the nature, our biosphere. They say, the essay begins with this: human beings and the nature have always been in a collision course. That means human beings and the nature, they are always at war. जहिले पनि human beings र नेचरको, प्रकृतिको एक किसिमको वार चलिरहेको हुन्छ, एक किसिमको टसल, यु क्यान से कन्फ्लिक्ट, द्वन्द्व चलिरहेको हुन्छ। कसरी? हामी के गर्छौं? हामी रुख काट्छौं, हामी के गर्छौं? हामी नदीबाट, नदीको किनारबाट ट्रकमा लादेर बालुवाहरू ल्याउँछौं। We bring trucks up, hundreds of trucks go every day towards the riverside and they bring the sand. We destroy the mountains, हामी रुख जंगलहरू काट्छौं. That means, so these activities that we do upon the nature, they are like attack on the nature, and the nature does not remain silent. Nature does not remain silent, rather it becomes violent and it gives us counter attack. हामी अट्याक गर्छौं नेचरमा, रुख काटेर, नदीबाट बालुवा ल्याएर, पहाडहरूलाई ग्रेनाइटले भत्काएर, ब्रेक गरेर हामी हरेक क्षेत्रमा, प्रकृतिको हरेक क्षेत्रमा हामी इन्टरफियर गर्छौं। त्यो हाम्रो अट्याक हो भने प्रकृतिले पनि के गर्छ? रिप्लाई गर्छन्। प्रकृतिले चुप लागेर सहेर बस्दैन। प्रकृति, nature responds, and what is the response? Nature, it creates sometimes, it causes sometimes flood, sometimes landslides, sometimes desertification, right? बाढी आउँछ कहिले मरुभूमि, means the land converts into desert. Marubhumikaran means the productive capacity. The earth does not provide any crops because it loses the productive capacity. The land does not provide anything else. Then landslides. कहिले landslides जान्छ, पहिरो जान्छ कहिले, means these things, landslides, or you can say flood, or you can say this desertification and other disasters, other natural calamities or disasters, let's say, prakritik prakopharu, all these things are the counter attack of the nature upon human beings. Our attack, counter attack. In this way, human beings and nature, they have always been in a collision course. There is always war and tussle. That is the beginning introduction of the essay. It introduces, and the writer says we don't have to go in a hypothetical condition. We don't have to take it hypothetically. We don't have to imagine hypothetically, speculate hypothetically. Facts are present before us. The facts are present before us. What are the facts? What are the symptoms? Means today people have premature hearing loss. Means over noise pollution. Because of the noise pollution, people have premature hearing loss. Today we have the rivers, the seas and oceans, everywhere, the lakes, they are all polluted. The entire fisheries are collapsing. The entire fisheries are collapsing means माछाका यो industries, right, collapsing, decreasing. Then again, a number of species of birds and animals, they have become extinct permanently. You see, passenger pigeon, dodo, and so many others. So many other, some species of frogs, they have completely become extinct. They are no more. Decreasing number of animals and birds, several species of animals and birds, they have completely become extinct. That means if they can become extinct, our life also is in danger. Means there is no guarantee that our existence, our civilization will remain constant, will remain forever. Why? Because if today one element disappears, the effect goes on others. You can see, for example, if birds are present, in presence of birds kill some insects. Birds consume the insects. चराहरूले के गर्छ? कीरा खान्छ. And त्यो कीराहरू यदि संख्या बढ्यो भने If the birds disappear, the number of the insects will increase, and those insects will kill, destroy, finish all the plants. They will consume, they will destroy all the plants, damage all the plants. Now there will be food problem, there will be food crisis. If the plants are destroyed, food crisis. So birds, they kill the insects and save the plants from complete damage. Birds are important in that sense. Snake is important. How? If the snake disappears, there will be growth in the number of rats, and the rats will destroy all the plants, all the crops. Now, because there is snake, the snake consumes the rats, and the rats, there is the balance. Yes, there is balance in the ecosystem, there is balance in the biosphere, because each and every element, either small or big, every element plays its significant role. That's why we can say all the elements in the nature, they are very, very important. They maintain balance, they maintain beauty, they help to maintain beauty and balance in the nature. That's why they are very important. And a number of, you see, animals and birds, insects, a number of species, they have become extinct, they are no more in existence. Now, this thing is going to have problems in our future. That's why the scientists they intend to aware, they want to create awareness among people that we should not continue our irrational activities. Our irrational activities means what? Our direct interference in the nature, the resources, without any seriousness. Being indifferent to the nature, we overconsume the resources, we misuse the resources, and in return we have a number of problems related with our environment, our life, our existence. You can see I have mentioned here, I feel, everybody feels, let's say, overpopulation is the root cause of all problems. Overpopulation is the root cause, genuine cause of almost all problems related with our environment. First, overpopulation. If there is overpopulation, it leads to the need of more space for settlement, more land for agriculture, more, you see, space for construction of infrastructures, and ultimately we need to cut down the trees, we need to destroy the trees. So overpopulation leads to deforestation, overconsumption of resources, then that leads to the decline of species. If trees disappear, the many, you can say many animals depending on trees, depending on forest, they also disappear. That leads to environmental degradation. Then desertification, it turns into deforestation, leads to desertification. Then we have soil erosion, acid rain. All these problems, environmental factors, these problems, they are caused by overpopulation and deforestation. Now, ozone layer depletion. What is ozone layer? Layer of oxygen that protects our earth like a shield, like a cover. You can say ozone layer is like an umbrella. It's an umbrella of oxygen, umbrella of gases that prevent the ultraviolet rays, that prevent the poisonous, the rays of sun from directly affecting our earth. But if this layer becomes thinner, what happens? It enters and causes problems. Ozone layer depletion, the most noticeable factor, clearly noticeable factor in the depletion of ozone layer, that is the use of chlorofluorocarbons. CFC, we know CFC is the root cause of depletion of ozone layer. Similarly, greenhouse effect is another greenhouse effect. The the earth the earth receives the heat of the sun and mixes in the air, atmosphere, and it is not able to get back because of the presence of the carbon dioxide. Maximum amount of the carbon dioxide, the hot air, you can say the hot atmosphere, does not become cool, and that leads to global warming. Let's say leads to global warming. We have sizzling temperatures. Yes, the rivers are the rivers, lakes, and oceans and seas. Everywhere there is pollution. We today think twice before we plunge into the river, into the lake. Why? Because the water is very polluted. If we enter the pond, we will start having skin problems from tomorrow because the water is polluted. You can see the condition of rivers. So Nissani wants to focus on two major problems. Means he says there are a number of problems, we are surrounded by a number of problems, but he cannot conclude all these problems within this short essay. So only two problems are focused here, and basically he talks about the nature, causes, consequences, and remedies of these two problems. The problems already focused, the title itself says the problems are too many people, that is overpopulation, too few trees, that is deforestation. Now let us talk about the causes of overpopulation. Yes, the first cause of overpopulation, of course, is our illiteracy, ignorance, lack of population education. We are totally unconscious about the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity, you understand, it is the capacity of everything. It is the capacity of everything. That means each and everything on the earth, in the world, has its capacity, has a limitation. Just imagine, a boat has the capacity of 15 passengers, means 15 passengers can travel, can cross a river on a boat. Now, instead of 15, if it is 17, somehow it can be managed. If it is 18, somehow it can be, with difficulty, with risk, somehow it can be managed. But the boat has the capacity of 15 passengers, and if 2 times, 3 times 45 passengers, let's say, or 60 passengers try to travel on the boat, what will be the result? Naturally, the boat will sink. Naturally. Means यो संसारमा हरेक चीजको एउटा सीमा छ, हरेक चीजको एउटा क्षमता छ। त्यो क्षमता भन्दा यदि अधिक हामीले त्यसमा बर्डन दियौं भने सर्टेनली नै त्यो अवश्य नै त्यो चीज चाहिँ नष्ट हुन्छ, त्यो चाहिँ नाश हुन्छ, बर्बाद हुन्छ। जस्तै एउटा शिपको हामीले एक्जाम्पल लिन सक्छौं। एउटा शिपको एउटा क्षमता छ, एउटा सीमित capacity छ. If we cross the limitation, that will certainly lead to destruction. Human beings don't care about the carrying capacity. The earth also has a carrying capacity. The earth also has a carrying capacity, but we don't care. We don't think that there is future generation to come up. And what will be remaining for the future generation? What are we going to leave for our upcoming generation? The same destruction, disasters, calamities, and the problems, the earth full of problems. Our ancestors handed over the earth in a perfect condition. I mean, there was a beauty and balance in the environment, in the nature, on the earth, when our previous generations left the earth to us. And we are multiplying our numbers, not adding, let's say, multiplying our numbers as if there is nothing like carrying capacity. We have learned nothing from the environmental decline, the environmental problems of the earlier civilization. And the writer Moti Nissani, he clearly says that the next 30 years will be a crucial time. If we are able to minimize our problems, if we are able to control our irrational activities, our direct interference, if we control our irrational activities, the earth can again regain its beauty, its balance, and there can be prosperity, there can be no problems. Let's say environmental problems can be minimized, but the next 30 years will be very crucial. Now let us talk about the causes of overpopulation. What are the causes of overpopulation? Yes, of course, I said our ignorance, illiteracy, especially in developing countries. There is the conservative views, the conservative thoughts and opinions, maybe religious factors, maybe social factors. For example, if we have more number of people, we can have more earning, more income, more, you can say, inventions, discoveries, and that will lead to the prosperity. That is what some people have, right, in their views, in their mind. But Nissani says that no, the earth is already overpopulated and there is no more chance for the additional number of people. If we have additional number of people further in the same way, that means we are never going to come out of these problems. Similarly, you see, religious factors, some people have this belief that if we have no sun, we cannot go to heaven. Religious reasons, some people may have the objections with the family planning. Yes, they believe that it is natural, we must not go against the nature, the law of nature, it's the blessings. This kind of things, you can say, religious factors, social factors. Then inequality, gender inequality also is the reason. Some people, they say that daughters cannot do everything that a son does, and therefore they expect son, and in desire for son, they have more and more daughters. Until and unless they have a son, they keep on having babies, keep on having children if they don't have son. That means social factors, conservative views, religious factors, and you can say many more reasons are there. All cannot be discussed right now. It's a well-known fact that the population of the world can never remain constant. That means there has always been fluctuation in the number of people in the world. It is because the birth rate and the death rate, they never remain the same in the same ratio. In past, the birth rate was slightly higher than it is in the present, but the death rate was also the same, because you see the infant mortality rate in past was higher than it is today, and thus it had a balance, means the population had a balance in the past because both birth and death rate were simultaneously, you can say equally, you see, balanced. But today the death rate has drastically gone down. It is because of the advanced nutrition, sanitation, health consciousness, and as well as you can say medical facilities and health technology. Because of these factors, what has happened? The death rate has gone down. As a result, we have the multiplied number of people. You see, every hour it is, according to the essay, according to the data collected by Moti Nissani at the time when he wrote this essay, it is, you see, outdated information. However, we depend on the same because the text says so. Means, according to Nissani, our, you see, every hour we add about 10,000 people to our numbers. Just imagine, every hour we add 10,000 people to our numbers, means 10,000 people, 10,000 babies are born every hour, and they are added to our population, and this leads to the 80 million people annually. Means there is the rise of 80 million people in the total population. He takes the example of Nepal itself. He says in 1951 the population of Nepal was only 9 million, but this 9 million turned to 23 million within a half century, less than half century. Means within 50 years, the 9 million, the population that was 9 million just turned to 23 million. Means the birth rate, according to the calculation, the birth rate was 2.5%, and an average Nepali woman had 5 children. That means you can see where our population, where the growth rate is going to lead us, right? It is going to lead us to unimaginable, right? Unexpected rise, unexpected growth of population. And now let's focus on the effects of overpopulation. We know overpopulation leads to the destruction of forest. Why? Because with the growth of population, when people increase in number, we need more land for agriculture, more land for settlement, and from where we bring the land? Because the earth has a limitation, the earth has a limited land, and that land cannot be extended according to our need. So ultimately what we start doing, we start destroying the forest. We start cutting down the trees for conversion of the settlement areas, conversion of agricultural land, and these activities directly affect our environment. So first major effect that is visible, that is on the environment, on the biosphere. With the destruction of trees, a number of species of animals, birds and insects which have very important role in the maintenance of beauty and balance, they disappear, they extinct. Means with the extinction of these animals and birds, what happened? There comes imbalance in our ecosystem, ecology, environment, and thus the environmental problems, environment related problems like flood, desertification, you can see soil erosion, and then greenhouse effect, global warming, then you can say other acid rain, and so many other natural disasters. Natural disasters, they occur frequently, they become very common, and this has direct relation with our health. We know with the rise of population, we start facing the food crisis, we start facing the food problem, food stuff problem, shortage of drinking water, and so many others. As in the essay The Nightmare Life Without Fuel, Sir Isaac Asimov, he has clearly focused, he has clearly pointed out the major problems related with the overpopulation, population, as well as fuel crisis. Why fuel crisis occurs? Of course, because of the overconsumption, because we depend totally on, if we totally depend on non-renewable resources, if we consume the non-renewable resources, what happens? Naturally, it leads to the crisis, and the crisis of food, crisis of drinking water, crisis of fuel, that makes our life no better than nightmare. Similarly, yes, we can see the effects on our health. We can see the effects of environmental problems, environmental hazards on our health. We have health hazards. For example, many people today suffer from skin cancer. Many people suffer from today eye cataract, Moti Bindu, respiratory disease. In America, according to the information in the essay, in America, 14 Americans die each day because of asthma. Because of asthma means दमको रोगले गर्दाखेरि अमेरिकामा 14 जना व्यक्ति हरेक दिन मर्छन्, यो एसेको इन्फर्मेसन अनुसार हामी भन्न सक्छौं. And this may be changed at present, there may be change, maybe it has increased in number. Yes, and similarly with the health hazards, health related problems, ultimately it has another in society also, means social problems also occur because of this overpopulation. How? With the growth of population, when people are unable to fulfill their needs, fulfill their requirements, unemployment problem, because of this the crime rate will increase. When people have no work, their empty mind becomes a devil's workshop and they start involving in criminal activities. So crime rate will increase, and then there will be social conflict, there will be ethnic, you can say communal conflict, tussle, मतलब सांप्रदायिक दंगा, सांप्रदायिक means भेदभाव and संघर्ष, युद्ध, वारहरू हुन सक्छ, civil wars it can lead to. Yes, we have already faced these sort of problems. Then there will be migration, immigration, means people will have no job in their own country and they will be compelled to work in the other countries. Then these sort of problems, they are society, and many criminal activities, other illegal activities might occur frequently in the nation. There will be chaos in the nation, अशान्ति फैलिन्छ, समाजमा शान्ति हुँदैन, विभिन्न किसिमका समस्याहरू हामी भोग्नु पर्ने हुन्छ यो जनसंख्या वृद्धिको कारणले. यस, यस्ता कुराहरूलाई समाधान गर्नको लागि, यी सब कुराहरूलाई कन्ट्रोल गर्नको लागि हामीसँग दुईटा मात्रै अप्सन छ. एउटा, जनसंख्यालाई हामीले कम पार्नु पर्यो, बर्थ कन्ट्रोल गर्नु पर्यो, बर्थ कन्ट्रोल, देयर मस्ट बी बर्थ कन्ट्रोल, right? And then there should be rise in the number of trees. Writerले यो Moti Nissani, the writer Moti Nissani, he has brought the references from the science, because the वैज्ञानिकहरू, विश्वका वैज्ञानिकहरू 1500 भन्दा 1500 वर्ल्ड साइन्टिस्ट, तिनीहरू वैज्ञानिकहरू एकदम चिन्तित छन् यो इन्भाइरोमेन्टल प्रब्लम्स देखेर, ओभर पपुलेसन देखेर, यो डिफोरेस्टेसन देखेर चिन्तित छन्. यसरी हामी यसैमा के पाउँछौं भने हामीले हाम्रो विश्वलाई, हामीले यो धरतीलाई, हामीले यो पृथ्वीलाई यदि बचाउनु छ भने, यसलाई मेन्टेन राख्नु छ भने, यसको सुन्दरता र यसको सन्तुलन कायम राख्नु छ भने हामीले सिचुएसनलाई अहिले हालको जुन परिस्थिति छ त्यसलाई जस्ट रिभर्स गर्नुपर्छ, जस्ट उल्टो पार्नुपर्छ। त्यो के हो भने too many trees, too few people. That is the theme of, that is the information of this essay, and you can say it is kind of awareness. The essay, through this essay, the writer wants to create awareness among people, among the world, everyone, individual. It is not alone. It is not possible to overcome these problems only by government alone. Every individual has the equal role. Every individual, if involves, is determined, is committed to overcome these problems. This is possible because the scientists, they are not pessimistic, they are very optimistic. Furthermore, we shall discuss in second part of the essay because the essay is very lengthy, and that's why I need to make the video in two parts. So in the second part we shall be discussing more. Thank you.